Hi, I'm Monique Flowers, and you're watching Today's Issues. And today we're going to be sitting here at my table having a good discussion with Miss Amber and Miss Robin. Say hi, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And today we taking care of business today at this table. We're going to have us a good discussion. So first we want to do is what? We want to welcome the new player at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 2, Mike Vick.
All right.
Now, today we were supposed to have a couple guys here to help us talk about this issue because it's a football issue. And, we include the guys, so we had Bernard and I had Mr. Evans. Mr. Bernard and Mr. Evans were supposed to be here, but they couldn't be here. So now it's the ladies talking and it's about to go down. It's about to go down around this table because I am so hyped about Mike Vick being in Pittsburgh. And I know he had a lot of issues prior to coming back to play football. And he's been like a model citizen. He's been doing everything right. And we all know the negative things that was being said about him joining our team as far as he was involved in dog fighting. But he did go to jail and he served his time. And I think everybody deserves a second chance. Now, what I'm seeing a lot on social media is a lot of negative responses to him coming to Pittsburgh. And I felt that our city was always a friendly city.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I thought that we always took pride in being, first of all, the #1 city, and have pride in that and being positive. But some of the stuff I see on the news and just around and them covering the issue as far as Mike Vick coming, being a Pittsburgh Steelers, is a lot of negative things that they're saying about him. And I believe people deserve a second chance. We also have other issues going on in our Pittsburgh Steelers as far as the players being inappropriate, doing unacceptable things as far as being a part of an NFL team. So if you're going to pull out one, you might as well pull out them all as far as the issues that we have. And it's just being human beings and making mistakes, learning from the mistakes and moving on. And that's how I feel about the situation. So I know Ms. Amber got a lot to say about the situation.
First of all, I blame the WPXI media because from what I'm seeing with WPXI, they're pushing the issue more on what he did versus what he's doing.
Now, how long ago did he do that?
I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
It was 7 years?
He did it, and then he's been out of prison, though, for about 4 years now.
Yeah, but 7 years?
So this situation in judgment, bad judgment as far as in his part, and being involved in a situation like that due to
But
dogs.
he's doing things with the animal rights, and
so he's trying to make it right.
He's trying to make it right with them. And he comes to Pittsburgh, and I believe WPXI, which I believe is a racist channel. I always say that about WPXI. He's came to Pittsburgh, and they're blowing it up more, and they're making it an issue. They go into the community, and they ask people, how do you feel about Michael Vick? And they're doing it intentionally.
Well, did they ask anybody, how did they feel about Ben Roethlisberger?
That was my point. I was getting ready to get to.
And not just and this
Since
not
you're
just
talking about
yeah,
the
exactly.
media
That's what
and talking about these, we have to realize these are young men almost coming out of high school, coming into a position of fame, money, all this media that they never might have been exposed to, but because they were blessed with a talent, a gift, to be able to excel in sports. Then they become these great I ams in some people's minds when they're just young men trying to navigate their way through our society and society, quote, norms, according to who?
Right. The society doesn't like to give people a second chance. Once you make a mistake,
society.
The
They gave Martha Stewart.
The city of Pittsburgh, I will say in general, with the Caucasian community, I'm not gonna bite my tongue, you know that. The Caucasian community, a lot of them don't believe in giving people second chances. And I feel like he redeemed himself. He made a mistake. He paid for it. He apologized.
What did Ben do? Listen, I
was
mean, like, if
raped.
we're going to talk about the Steelers and we're going to talk about quarterbacks and we're going to talk about issues that plague, Ben's issue was with a human being. Mike's
Dog
was with a
lives
dog. I'm
matter.
a dog lover. I'm a dog lover.
I'm trying to get me a Yorkie Poo teacup.
Oh my gosh. But
Anybody wanna buy it for me?
there was not this outrage when Ben did his
They supported
mistake,
him.
when Ben had an altercation, when Ben went out of state.
When Ben
and-
had a motorcycle accident.
well, I'm talking about when the
he was
intercom-
With the no helmet.
well,
as a
I'm just talking about
quarterback,
him.
exactly.
I'm talking about him dealing with a young woman out of state, and all that was hush.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really hushed. It wasn't.
It wasn't
for
pushed
2
as much.
seconds.
It wasn't. It wasn't
Did anybody go around? How do you feel about Ben in this situation with this young lady? How did you feel about that? Do you think Ben can still be a great quarterback? Do you still think that he can be a productive member in this society? Ben made mistakes too. I'm not here
And
to.
we're not just talking about Ben. We're talking about in the NFL and as
Period.
far as the young men coming on and playing,
Exactly.
and getting his prestige, getting his money, and just out here in the public eye, and they do make bad choices.
Yes.
But it seems like.
But that's a
they're
part of life.
They're picking who gets. You know what I mean?
Preferential
Who
treatment.
can be redeemed and who cannot be
who
redeemed?
can come back and do their job as a football player and be productive and learn from their situation and their mistakes. Because like you said, these are all young guys. They got money. And everybody is not, without sin, they say. Everybody has an issue. Everybody done did something. Everybody done got in trouble. Even the people out here doing in the media broadcast. I'm pretty sure you done did something that
Everybody
you wasn't
has.
supposed to. So our whole thing to bring it back.
Some
and
get
be-
caught and some don't.
Yeah, some get caught, some don't, and some are able to redeem themselves, and then they put the person in a situation. Well, we're not going to let this person redeem themselves
Exactly.
and come back and focus on the positive things that the person is doing after the negative thing that he did. It seems like they pick and choose who they want
Right.
to represent that positive side, and then they just keep on pushing the negative. And I just thought Pittsburgh was better than that.
I did too.
And
well,
more
one of the
welcoming.
things is I want to thank the Steeler Corporation organization.
The Roonies
for-
has played a big part.
exactly for
Mike Tomlin played a bigger.
well,
Because they grew up in the same area.
well, the fact is, they're giving him another opportunity
Right.
to use his gift.
And
I
it was
thought
the
we
Rooney's
were a city
decisions at
about
the end of
wanting
the
to
day.
win
Yeah.
games. I
Yeah.
thought the thing about the Steeler Nation was to
They
be
wanted to
be
win.
champions. And so I believe that once Mike get an opportunity, because for whatever reason, and this was on my Facebook page, I don't know it to actually be so true, but Ben, and I'm not against Ben Roethlisberger. Please note that. What I'm saying is Ben has had a lot of injuries. He needs a backup. He needs
A healthy one.
a healthy one that can help us win championships.
If Mike Vick do a fourth quarter drive on the Ravens, everybody will love him.
That's what I believe too.
yeah.
I believe too. I think that
And I
this
think
rhetoric
he
was.
did his time in Philly anyway.
Yeah.
He played for Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played for Philly and the Jets.
Yeah, he did his time with them
I think
teams.
so I think that we should give him an
But
opportunity.
he did good when he came out of prison and he played for the Eagles. He led them, I believe, to the NFC Championship game. Mike Vick came out
Right, he
and
did good. He did good.
He was- he was
because
on
some
his-
people some of these athletes, if they go to jail, they come out, they don't be right sometimes. And they just can't work up to that performance because of how long they've been,
Sat.
sat. You know what I mean? They kind of get,
Or,
out
and then
of-
it's a
out of-
mental
out of the
state.
loop. Yeah, it's
And
a
I
mental
think
state.
what's going on right now is to discourage him
Yeah.
from being.
he said he's not even paying attention to
Well, that's a
anything
good
on
thing.
social media.
That's a good thing.
He
That's
said
good.
because it causes you to dislike or have different feelings towards people, and he don't want to have different feelings if there's somebody on the Steelers saying something. But Sidney Crosby was on the TV with a dog and made a hashtag. I forget what the hashtag said. The guy that played for the Penguins basically said he's not accepting to Michael Vick playing for the Steelers.
well, I mean,
It's
everybody
everybody
got their
It's a good
opinion.
thing he's not his employer.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter. So as long as
I'm glad he's here. I'm getting my
I
jersey.
can't wait to get my jersey number 2. So we just want to say to our media, to our media out here. Let's stop focusing on the negative things. Let's give people a second chance, because we are Pittsburgh, and we are supposed to be the #1 city. We're supposed to be the friendliest city. So
Yes.
let's act on what what other people say we are, and what you perceive as far as in the media saying that we are the #1 city and the most friendliest. Let's give Michael Vick a chance, and you know what I mean. And everybody deserves a second chance, because Pittsburgh Steelers, there's a lot of them that got issues too, and we give them second and third and fourth chances. So
We
I'm
gave
happy Mike Vick
Le'Veon
is
Bell
here.
a second chance after he got caught with the weed.
Yeah.
So we believe in second chances.
Everybody deserves a second
Second
chance.
chance.
I believe that once you pay your time, you should be able to come out back into the society and be productive members in our society, become taxpayers to give back to
Look
the
at me.
economy,
Right.
to give
Redeemed.
back into the economy,
Right.
so that we can keep things moving.
Right.
We're a human race.
Right.
I love dogs. I love
Yeah,
people
we all
more.
love the dog. We all love animals, and we don't wish any harm on animals.
No.
So this is going great, y'all. But we gotta take a break.
Really?
Yeah, we gotta take a break, Amber. Can we take a break? Can
Uh-huh.
we take a break? So we'll be right back with some more today's issues.
And you're watching Today's Issues.
Did we get it right? Okay. And we're back, man. This discussion is going berserkers. I'm loving it. Today we're back with today's issues. We got Miss Amber, Miss Robin here, and we hitting some good hot topics, and we are talking about Mike Vick, the newest member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're really happy that he joined the team, and we can't wait to buy that jersey with #2 on it. So, what we were talking about was, the media giving them a lot of, bad flack and bad publicity about being here. And we know that there's a lot of people who don't agree about Mike Vick being here, as far as Tim Benz, am I saying that right, with the Trib Total Radio, been talking like bad on him. He doesn't want him here. He doesn't think that he should be here. And we say, Tim, take a seat. He's here.
I just
Get
wonder
over
if
it.
the whole Tribune newspaper is
Trib-
about that too, because he's with the
Well,
Tribune.
Tribune.
That's just on the
It's
radio.
it's on the radio. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
True
like,
that.
like we're pro, we're team Vic, and I guess there could be people team
Yeah.
no Vic. So
Team dogs.
hey, and so we just want to touch bases as far as Sidney Crosby being on, what's the stat?
The
Animal
Pittsburgh
friends.
Penguins, but he didn't make the tweet actually on social media. It was Animal Friends with a picture he posted. They
So we're not gonna
tweeted
say
it.
that him-
So I'm not going to say him per se has an issue with Michael Vick coming here.
It was just his picture, and the animal people posted that. So I just want to give a big shout out also, and thank our media for being out here on the forefront, and all our journalists out here doing the news, because I know sometimes that can be hectic. So we still, thank you so much. We still, giving you your props out here for our Pittsburgh journalism and news casters. So don't send me no hate mail. Okay, so we're going to talk about something else, and as far as that I just seen, they're going to reopen the Jordan Mouse case. So, I mean, I really don't know too much on why they will open it, but this is what I'm hearing, that the police officer that really attacked Jordan and put him in the hospital, one of the police officers made a statement, and it was a racist statement, when one of the so-called bartender or restaurant waitress asked him, would he do anything different in that situation with Jordan Mouse? And he said, no, he wouldn't. He wished he would have, killed him. So
And
they're
they
trying-
barred her from testifying. She was barred. She was never allowed to testify at the trial.
Yeah, so I don't know how. I mean, I don't know where that's going to take them, as far as do they have a leg to stand trying to open up that case?
Well, what happened is, because it was a split decision on the verdict back in March, both sides taking a win, both sides knowing that there's more to do. The thing about the situation, and we got to be real mindful, the police are doing their job to make extra income, and they make extra income finding persons who may be distributing or carrying drugs. Because nowadays, going and doing a robbery or domestic violence take low profile to drug activities.
But your amounts don't have anything to do with
But
drug
that's what they suspected.
But
Which is what they're saying.
Well,
They
they did say
suspected
they
seen
that.
you walking with
the
the
bottle.
right.
Right, and they thought that
He had
bottle
a
was
gun.
Sprite or Mountain Dew was a gun. They thought that
That's
because
always
he
their
was
issue, though.
walking
Where's
through
the
the
gun?
neighborhood and he was walking while black, that he had to be a drug dealer. So it just started on our premises because, you know, there's a lot of overtime to arrest someone with drugs. There's a lot of money that you can make more than being just a city police. So when we're creating places for more jails and going back to a segment about schools, no schools, but we got more jails, and we got police
But
making
we don't
up-
got no money for the
It's in
schools.
the
but we have
pipeline.
money for privatized jails and make sure that we give them money, and that's the new employer.
And that's
Remember,
crazy.
Pittsburgh was a city of steel mills. We became beautified, and now we're a city of jails.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Or, you know, that
and it goes back to being, we pride ourselves in Pittsburgh as being the most friendliest and the number one city. How can we be a number one city when we let things like this happen in our city and don't take ownership? I don't care if you're white, black, whatever. We have to take ownership of the wrongdoings that's going on in our city. Or how are we saying that we're the most friendliest or we're number one when we can't address the issues in our backyard?
We are known for police brutality now across the world. Friends I know from other states, that's just what the city of Pittsburgh represent now, police brutality, but there's no accountability.
Yeah, and we have to be, we have to hold people to an accountability of their wrong actions, wrongdoings, as you say. And like I said, we're supposed to be Pittsburgh. We're supposed to be prideful, hard working, blue collar, out there every day. Our kids go to public schools. Let's support the public schools. Why are you giving all the money to the prisons and stuff like that? When Pittsburgh comes out, and we can go anywhere, you'll always see a Pittsburgh Steelers sign. You could go, you could be in Atlanta, the Pirates. You got other entertainers in the industry wearing, their Pirate hats. Snoop loves the Steelers. You know what I'm saying?
He made a little football league where he's from called
the Steelers.
Steelers. What is it? Long Beach Steelers.
Yeah. And so we have to make sure that we continue on. If we're going to say that we're the most friendliest, I keep saying that, in the number one city, we have to act like it.
But that means we have to be inclusive of all race, everyone.
Should be,
not just one group versus another group. And what I'm saying too is our police need to be educated.
Right.
I believe that we got some great and qualified police officers on the
I know
force.
Police officers.
Yeah, we do. The thing about it is, it's like that one bad apple can ruin the whole barrel.
Right.
These are the type of situations that there is, but it's about gaining more money. If we look at the monies, if you really do the stats on what a police officer makes compared to, and I apologize because I meant to look that up.
That's okay.
I meant to look that up. And what they make for fighting crime, real crime.
Right.
Real crime, like thief and, making sure no one gets run over or knocked down. But chasing a person who may be using drugs, maybe, or selling drugs, maybe.
But these people, most of the people that is getting, like assaulted, you might as well say, by some of the police, aren't even running. They're not running. Like you seen on the TV where the little girl at the pool party got slammed on her face.
Yes.
Seriously,
The girl. Pregnant. Was she pregnant too?
No,
not that one.
You're talking about out of state.
Yeah.
It was a gated community.
And they had a pool party, and they got all rowdy.
And they were invited.
But they got all rowdy.
Because they felt like them little girls wasn't supposed to be in our community.
Exactly.
That's the one.
Well, it's just.
But still, she wasn't running. She wasn't resistant. She had a swimsuit on, so I know you don't think she had no drugs on her. So it's just that I think they need to work inside the police department to change their behavior.
Right.
And they need to learn about the African American youth and quit criminalizing them. They need to be educated on that.
Exactly. This is
But
what
back
I'm
in
saying.
the day, though,
training.
remember you used to know the police
officers
in your community.
But still, to
because
this
they
day, I
lived
know
there.
them. Richie McLean, quick.
But it's getting.
Rob
it's
White,
getting.
yeah, you don't know them.
But now
You can't engage with them.
Yeah,
they
and-
won't talk to you.
Yeah, and then they don't know. They don't know the community's history as far as families. You know how you had big families, and then you be like, oh, well, I know that family, or I know that
Right,
police officer
right.
because, oh, why? Because he went to Langley or Shinley or Oliver,
Or
and his
Western
mom,
Massacre.
or well, you know what I mean? They were from in the city, so they were more able to deal with the city's
Richie
issues.
McLean still lives in Homewood in the same house on Monticello.
But you know, a lot of police officers work from a fear-based perspective. They come out.
That's the new.
afraid.
I think they
that's
also-
the new school officers. Not
Well,
the
I'm
old
just
school.
saying-
Well, I think they
Yeah.
have a lot of intimidation
Yeah.
inside the police department that they are not addressing. There's a lot of issues on the
Possibly.
inside.
Yeah.
On you know you
There's
can't
division
you
amongst
know what
the
I mean.
police, too.
You can't say nothing against a fellow police officer
Right.
if he's right or wrong. So
Right.
they have a lot of work to do
Yes.
as far as just dealing with that
I think
organization.
there's a lot of division because the cops who are for the communities, the Michael Gays, Officer Caldwell, them older officers that are still police officers, and they actually, you will catch them at every event in the city of Pittsburgh in the Zone 5 district. Those cops are always there. We had one African American at the Ag Gainey Book Bag Draft doing face painting. I think, personally, it's a division.
Like I
It's
said,
not
there's
spoken
issues.
about where it's
They're
coming
not
with
speaking
the
about it.
African
They're not coming
Americans
out.
because they feel like the Caucasians don't step in to help in
there-
these
there
communities.
even might-
That's
and there
just
even
my
might
personal
be,
observation.
You know, what I mean, some, not all, whites or,
But a lot of them don't live here.
Well,
you
that's
know, I'm
another
not
thing.
gonna
They
say
We
that.
coming
did a
from-
Meet the Cops thing in Homewood maybe about 2 months ago. We
Yeah.
did one at the church, and we were talking to the cops, me and Io, and it was me. We was all at the table. The table was broken down to meet the cops. We was talking to these officers. So when we got to talk to him, we got to asking him questions. He knows nothing about the city because he lives out there by Denora. You know what I'm saying? So he drives out there and he drives back. I think it should
so
be
it's like a disconnect. It's a
Right.
disconnect.
an issue
and
with
that-
them living within the city.
Well, remember, I
'Cause
thought
they
at
don't
one time they
understand.
had to be a resident of
They
the city.
are, but they're moving further. Even though it is the city, Denora and all that is the city. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not Denora.
No.
It's not Denora.
It's the-
Excuse me. It's one of them neighborhoods up there by Beachview. They start with a D. I can't think of the name.
Delmont?
No, Dormont.
Dormont.
Okay.
They,
Delmont.
you know what I'm saying? Out towards that way he lived. So you know what I'm saying? But they still living in the city, but they're living out. They're not living in the Highland Parks, the shady side. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're disconnected, like you said.
Yeah, so.
Well, maybe a suggestion for
We gotta start getting, but just to close just to close it up, that we need to work on trying to get more police officers from the community, I guess, or people that want to do it. But there's a lot of people that just don't want to be the
There's a
police
lot of people
today.
that really is trying to, and they can't pass. They'll let them take the test, and there's certain parts they get to, and they fail. I know a lot of people have done it.
Well, we got to work on that and try to help them out, get some
With that
tutors or
test.
something, so we can get some more people.
They got to have 60 hours of college credits before they could become a Pittsburgh police officer now.
Oh yeah, we got to help them out. We got to do better.
education is the key on
education
all sides.
On all sides.
On all sides.
But they didn't used to have to go to college to be a cop.
Well, they didn't have to do a lot of things back in the day that they have to do today.
Yeah.
Times are changing.
Times are changing, but hopefully they're changing to promote positive change, like I always say, and we can keep on, as long as we try to address the issues and make everybody responsible for their actions and stuff like that, I feel that we can say that we're the most friendliest and the #1 city. But until we start acting like it and address some of these issues that we have here home on the front lines in our communities, I don't think we should be able to say it until we get it together. So I just want to thank y'all ladies for joining me with this discussion. I don't know what she got going on around her.
There's something that's flying in my face.
They want my donuts. I hope everybody likes my donuts.
Oh,
They
my
want donuts.
gosh.
And I want to thank Ms. Amber for
You're
coming
welcome.
and Ms. Robin for coming in and being a part of this discussion with me Monique Flowers with today's issues. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, I'll drink to that.
Hi, I'm Monique Flowers with Informant Pittsburgh, and I would just like to take the time out to thank everyone who made this thing possible. As you all know, Informant Pittsburgh was on the move with today's issues, and I would like to give out a big hug and kiss to all my lovely guests from Informant Pittsburgh and all the lovely people I got to meet when I was on the move, and my lovely cast of today's issues. And I also would like to give a special shout out to my supporters, State Representative Ed Gainey and Jay Quigley, for helping me promote positive change in our lovely city of Pittsburgh. So make sure you check me out in Informant Pittsburgh. That's on the move with today's issues. Check us out.